शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदां जाड्यान्धकारापहां हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदां बुद्धिप्रदां शारदां बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्।
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। I was born in darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hello Gayatri, how are you?
Hello Yaska. You just spoke about Guru, and today what we are going to talk about is one such instruction from a Guru and how that changed life of someone you worship a lot, because he wrote your favorite books in the world, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Oh, so you are going to speak about Sukhdev Goswami. Wow.
Yes, and how he became Sukhdev Goswami actually.
Okay.
Do you know who was the person from whom he got the first lesson of sannyas?
His father, Vedavyas.
That is the common perception. But the thing is that his father Vedavyas sent him to a king to learn about sannyas. Now, for all the viewers that yes, Yaska.
See, Vedavyas, I understand he is a sage himself. He knows about renunciation. Now, king is someone who is living in a palace, for God's sake. And he has so many people around him, so much of wealth. He has subjects that he rules.
Yaska, you first need to establish what sannyas is for our viewers. So you tell me, what is sannyas? Tell our viewers, what is sannyas? What is a sannyasi? What is it that a sannyasi gives up?
Sannyasi radiates renunciation. He does not care about the worldly things. He is out of all the material aspirations that someone can have. So I believe that is a sannyasi.
So in short, a sannyasi is someone who is not connected to materialistic world, never gets married, never starts a family. In short, does not experience any worldly pleasures.
Yes, that's the common view that I am putting forward today.
And that is what Sukhdev Maharaj was since he was a child, since he was born. He was called as Bala Sannyasi because he had renunciated the world since he was born. Like even before saying Ma or Pa, he had renunciated.
Yes, that's a beautiful. Vedavyas had to run after him and chase. Please come back home. Yeah, that I remember that, reading that.
And then finally Sukhdev Maharaj grew up a bit and said to his father, now I need to take sannyas. Now you need to understand that this was ancient time when sannyas was not a very popular practice among youngsters.
Correct.
In Hindu Dharma, in Sanatan Dharma, there are 4 ashrams that everybody has to go through. One is Brahmacharya Ashram. What is Brahmacharya Ashram?
Brahmacharis are kids who studies at their guru's place, learns knowledge, and does not get married. So it's the stage of one person's life before they get married. They are with the guru, learn. Learning is the key objective there.
Complete focus is only and only on education. and they also practice chastity,
Correct.
not indulging in any sexual activities, as you mentioned. Second ashram is Grihasthashram. What is
Correct.
Grihasthashram?
Grihasthashram is where a person completes his brahmacharya, comes out into the world, marries, and then starts living the life according to his own duties, according to his role in the
Correct.
society.
In short, his responsibilities towards the society, starting
Yes.
a family, and taking responsibilities of the family.
Correct.
After he has performed all the duties, after he has completed all the responsibilities, there comes third ashram, which is Vanaprasthashram.
Yes.
What is Vanaprasthashram?
Vanaprasthashram is he has gone through the entire life. He had family. Maybe his children, his or her children are already started their own lives, and now he's detached. He just wants to focus on his life with God. So he's just completed his grihasthashram and is moved on.
In short, he is now in a position wherein he imparts the wisdom he has earned over a period of his life and shares his knowledge with the next generation.
Next generation. You are true.
In short, like you said, he is detaching himself. The process is ongoing. He has not detached. He is detaching. And then comes the final ashram called as Sannyas ashram, which means
Sannyas ashram, now he is completely detached. He has gone through the process. He doesn't care about the world now. He just wants to focus on himself and his connection with the Supreme.
exactly, like you said, connection with himself and the Supreme. Here, we would not even call that Supreme as God, because calling someone God is also a kind of detachment. So it's also some kind of an attachment. So he's so detached that he's completely in himself. Now think about it. A young boy asking his father to give me sannyas. So this is what his father said to him. Vedvyas, the intelligent one, the divine one, he said, you need to go and see King Janak. Learn from him the real meaning of sannyas. And then if you think you can take sannyas, I will bless you. In short, Yaska, you cannot just ask for sannyas. You have to prove that you are worthy of it and that you understand it. Now, Sukhdev Maharaj thought exactly what you thought, which is, king, how can you get sannyas, like lessons of sannyas from a king?
Yeah.
Now,
I would definitely have thought the same.
Yes. Now, this is what happened when Sukhdev Maharaj entered the gates of Janakpuri, present-day Nepal. He entered and he was straight away taken to the Darbar, the main hall of King Janak. The moment Sukhdev Maharaj entered in, this is what he saw. Now, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of Sukhdev Maharaj.
Let me go into that mode.
Go into that mode.
I'm entering the palace.
And now this is what is in front of you. Lavishly dressed officers, ministers, and rich nobles looking at the dance performed by the celestial beauties like Urvashi, Menaka, Tilottama.
Okay, now I have to do this, huh? I'm going away.
And Sukhdev Maharaj is looking at King Janak, and King Janak seems to be enjoying all of this. And Sukhdev Maharaj is like, oh God, when will I get over with this? I just want to get over with this so that I can go back, tell my father that, yeah, I learned what I wanted to learn and I'm back. So this is what he thought he learned, never to indulge in these activities and never to be a king.
Yeah, I think this is a kind of situation where some people do. If you want to experience something, show him the other part and say, okay, this is not I want to do, and walk away. So is that what Sukhdev Goswami learned?
No, that is not what happened. Sukhdev Maharaj was smarter than that, and his father knew it. So his father knew that he had to play a bigger game. And King Janak was the only person who could have told the entire world what real sannyas is about. Yeah, I can see your expression, Yaska. This is what happened.
Okay, yes, let's hear.
Turns out, Sukhdev Maharaj gave a similar expression, and King Janak realized that Sukhdev Maharaj didn't really feel that he could learn anything from him. But King Janak was just as humble as you can imagine. He said to Sukhdev Maharaj that, Sukhdev Maharaj, I realize that you don't think you can learn anything from me. But since your father has sent you to me to learn something from me, and I respect your father very much, and I'm also scared of him. So I'm going to do what your father has sent you for, and then you can go back. I will not force you for anything. But before I tell you what sannyas is all about, I need you to perform this thing for me. What was the activity? He took a vessel. No, he took a vessel, poured milk into it until the brim. A vessel, poured milk into it until the brim, and told Sukhdev Maharaj that this is what you have to do. Can you see that entire balcony? It was a big space, and it was a balcony. This is all you have to go do. You start from here, you complete the full round and enter the same place from the other side. Now Sukhdev Maharaj was more confused than ever. How am I going to learn about sannyas by carrying this vessel of milk? But
I think in that all balcony there will be some beautiful women, all lavish ministers standing there.
Not just that. The whole idea is that it's the milk, and he's thinking how to go about with it. And then finally, he starts traveling. And when he starts traveling,
with the milk, right?
With the milk. And the instruction is to not drop a single drop of milk on the floor. He cannot.
Now it's getting interesting. Okay. So
he cannot spill a single drop of milk on the floor.
Yeah. So that the task is Sukhdev Goswami has to walk across the balcony, carry that pot with milk up till the brim, and not to spill a drop of milk. Am I right?
Correct. That is the task. And King Janak, it's his darbar. So, as you said, yeah, everybody was standing. I mean, it's not an empty corridor, of course. It's a palace. It cannot be an empty corridor.
Yes.
So as Sukhdev Maharaj was traveling through that corridor, he saw these celestial beauties dancing, all these beautifully dressed people chit-chatting, and he was traveling through the corridor. And then he returned, gave it back to King Janak. And then King Janak said, "Oh my God, Sukhdev Maharaj, I'm so sorry. You cannot take sannyas." Now Sukhdev Maharaj was, I just did what you asked. And hey, you don't even have the authority to tell me what sannyas is. Look at yourself. You sit there on your throne, you watch these beauties dancing, and look at how you are dressed.
Yeah, I would have said that. It's
savagely.
It's like I'm a student and I failed my class, and a person who has failed his entire life and coming me, you don't have the right to study. Like, are you serious?
Roughly something like that happened. And that is when King Janak said, "But Sukhdev Maharaj, the corridor from where you walked, just look at that corridor. All those beautiful women were dancing, the celestial beauties. And all those rich people, they were standing there chit-chatting." And Sukhdev Maharaj was like, "So? I was not looking at them. My entire focus was not to spill a drop of milk from this vessel. Look at it. It is filled till brim, and I did not spill a single drop. I had nothing to do with it." And then King Janak said to him, "Likewise, Sukhdev Maharaj, I'm a king. A king is meant to wear lavish clothes. A king is meant to sit on a throne. And a king is meant to call upon these lavish festivals in his kingdom to keep the spirits of the people of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Just because I am amidst all of these things doesn't mean I'm attached to it. And that was the first lesson of renunciation and sannyas that Sukhdev Maharaj was given by King Janak, that your surroundings do not matter. What matters is ultimately what we do. Did you get your lesson, Yaska?
I'm a bit confused here. So, Sukhdev Goswami did what he's supposed to do, right? So, he did not look at other things. He focused on the milk.
Correct.
Tell.
The idea was that Sukhdev Maharaj said that he was detached, but somewhere he judged King Janak on the basis of his surroundings. And the first lesson was to not judge basis the surroundings of a person, which is why very recently, a few hundred years ago, when Gautam Buddha was in his ashram with his disciples, and Amrapali, who was a courtesan, wanted to give up everything, she renunciated and came and offered her services at his feet. All of his disciples said, Maharaj, hey Buddha, she's not a good woman. She was a courtesan, a dancer. She spent so many nights with men. She is not worthy of serving you. That's when Gautam Buddha said, it doesn't matter where she was. What matters is where she is and what she wants to be. And whatever you are talking about was her surrounding, which she has already renunciated. It was around her, not inside her.
Correct.
That is how Amrapali got her solace, and she started serving Gautam Buddha.
I just remember one more story. Can I share?
Yes.
It's not few hundred years back, just 100 years back. So you know a famous band called Beatles?
Yes.
And you know who's the lead singer of Beatles?
No, I don't know the name, but please go ahead.
George Harrison. So he came to the famous guru of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, and asked, I don't want this life. I don't want all this fame. I just want to surrender unto you and be a sannyasi, like all of your disciples. Srila Prabhupada said, no, you are a great singer yourself. Rather than submitting yourself to me and doing what other people are doing, he said, you go and write songs about Krishna and sing it across the world. That's it.
And
it's not about what is around you. It's about what we are at home.
What is inside you. And just giving up your responsibility is not sannyas. Correct. When Dhritarashtra, during the Mahabharata, just before the war, Dhritarashtra was blamed for the entire war. And Dhritarashtra was very cunning. So he just went to Ved Vyas Rishi and said to him that, you know what, Ved Vyas Ji, everyone is blaming me. I think I'll just take sannyas. And that's when, as curt as you can be, Ved Vyas Rishi was very blunt when he spoke. He said to him that Dhritarashtra, sannyas is not sannyas is not an escape plan. Running away from responsibilities is not sannyas. If you want to be a sannyasi of Grihasthashram. And how to be a sannyasi of Grihasthashram is what Janak Maharaj said. Or Janak Maharaj embodied that you can be married, you can be in responsible positions, you can be in authoritative positions and still be detached. So you can be married, you can have kids, and still you can be detached, involved.
Well, the external forces doesn't matter. It's about what you are. Yeah, I have come across this many times that something hits up and said, oh no, I think let me escape out of it. Just run away and sit somewhere. Yeah, maybe you might have to do that for a bit of time to understand yourself. Maybe, but that's not the escape route. You need to come, stand in front of the problem, face it, and go through it. Is what I believe you will learn the lesson through, and
So
it will take you in higher plane. Am I thinking in the right direction, Gayatri?
this is what you're saying. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think you are ready for renunciation? The renunciation that King Janak spoke about, wherein you do not run away from responsibilities. You do not run away from society. You be a part of society and yet be detached. Do you think you can do that? Do you think you want to do that?
I want to, but I have gone through a lot of things. It is not so easy, as we say. It takes a great deal of
I am still in the process. I'm still in the process.
great
So,
deal.
Yaska, you, me, and all the people who are watching us, I really, really, really hope that somewhere everybody starts on this path. And if you have started on this path, please mention it in comments that you are at least trying. It will just help us make this world a better place.
And
What better than
Gayatri, you
living
can
in the
also
world?
give an offer, right? If somebody has a great story of going through this kind of things, please do share with us. We'll
Please share
invite
with
you.
us. We would like for you to join us and share your story so that we can inspire other people also who can take inspiration from your story and embark on this path. Because ultimately, if you're free from judgments and if you're free from judging other people, a lot of weight is lifted off your shoulders. And on that note, Yaska, let us call this meeting.
Yeah.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.